Welcome to Building Fortunes Radio. Make sure you check us out at buildingfortunesradio.com. Along with our marketing partners, we're here to help our PM Marketing Network Lead customers build their businesses and make the world a better place. At Building Fortunes, we know how much your business means to you and the people important to you. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world. Now on to our show with your host, Peter Mingils.
Hello, everyone. Peter Mingils here. You're listening to us on Building Fortunes Radio. That's www.buildingfortunesradio.com. For all those people that are unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Peter Mingils. I own this whole thing. We started this Building Fortunes Radio show to have a platform for people that are doing the right things as far as entrepreneurs to be able to have you, our Building Fortunes Radio listening audience, hear their voices. And we do a lot of radio shows, but this one is going to be a really special radio show segment, and we have a special guest on our Building Fortunes Radio show who's going to have his own segment for the National Real Estate Investors Group, and his name is Mike Harrington. So I'm going to introduce Mike a little bit in a second, but the one thing that I want to mention for our Building Fortunes Radio listening audience that might be listening in is we do a lot of stuff here. And as an entrepreneur, sometimes, doors of opportunity swing open other doors of opportunity. And when I met Mike, we were working on a project to be able to help him with his real estate investment stuff. And in addition to that, just like everything else, people have to know you're there. Otherwise, I call it winking in the dark. An expression I learned from a gentleman that I work with. I want to give him credit. It's not my original idea. But when he said winking in the dark, I said, well, what does that mean? And he says, well, when you're winking in the dark, only you know you're doing it. So I said, I get it. So we have to be out there promoting this stuff. People have to be visible and being seen. So when I heard about what Mike was working on, I said, we have to get you out there. So we're going to do a Building Fortunes Radio show segment because you guys, I'm using slang, are really great people. As you'll learn more about Mike's background, you'll say, wow, you are an established gentleman who has a great background. And you have the training and the mentorship and everything else, the whole package, to really be able to help people, especially now as the economy is moving and changing and shifting. And I think we're going to see one of the greatest economic shifts ever in the next couple of months, the next couple of years. And Mike's got a handle on it with the people that he's working with as well as his training course to be able to help our Building Fortunes Radio listening audience. So besides that, he's nice, he's a hard worker, he's a smart guy, and I wanted our Building Fortunes Radio listening audience to learn more about Mike Harrington. So Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Peter.
Now, I mentioned a little bit about you as I've learned a little bit about you, but I don't know everything about you. So can you give us a little bit of your background so this way we can say, geez, this gentleman's a really credible guy. I mean, you've done a lot of things in your lifetime.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me on today, Peter. A little bit about my background. My name is Mike Harrington. I am CEO of the National Real Estate Investors Group. I should say founder and CEO. And my background has been real estate development and banking for over 30 years. My last corporate job, I left in 2008, and ironically, not because of the 2008 crash, but I had had enough of corporate America. And the nice thing about what we do today is we teach people not only how to be expert real estate investors, also how to manage their wealth. And that is the big key to this. And we are so excited to be able to offer our online educational program. It's all online. It's on the same platform as the online universities, and that is on the ISD platform, which stands for Instructional System Design. This educational platform, along with my experience, it enables people to get a hold of their financial trajectory and through a logical process end up investing in real estate and creating passive income. My position on cash and cash flow, cash is not king, but cash flow is. And I say that because once you start investing in real estate, you get a handle on you are able to create passive income that is economic foolproof. And by that I mean everybody needs a place to live. I am a big buy and hold investor, and I'm not really personally into the fix and flip realm, but having that cash flow coming in each and every month, and regardless of the economy, you are financially independent. So that's a little bit about my background. And again, I do have over 30 years experience in real estate investment, and we cover the 5 pillars of wealth. Take people from step 1 all the way through step 5. So I hope that gives you some information, Peter.
It sure does. So I'll reveal a little bit about me. I grew up in an area or in a background where I had loving parents for sure, hardworking parents for sure, financially not, super rich, just blue-collar workers. And I was never taught what you're teaching your students. The price that I paid for that has been great because my background, Mike, I was good in sales. So I could always handle the bring money in equation. I was really not good at the investing because I didn't know how. Now, I know that's no excuse, but I was so busy in my direct sales career, making sales, building businesses, and stuff like that, I never could find the time where I chose to, be responsible. I chose to never really make the time to do some of those investment things that sincerely would have set me up far greater. So I don't, sometimes you look back on your life and you say, what are your regrets? I'll say it as sincerely as I can. I didn't have someone like you being able to teach someone like me how to do the stuff that you're talking about. And that might have made all the difference. So I might not be here on Building Fortress Radio. So for some people say, but Peter, then you wouldn't be here on Building Fortress Radio. And I said, that's probably true. But sorry, I would have probably been doing something else. Because, Mike, I didn't learn the lessons that you teach your students. So can you take the sincere admission that I just said? I'm good at sales. We know how to bring in money. Bringing in money is only part of the equation. That handles the thing that you said about cash flow. I've learned that cash flow is king and that you need the cash flow. So I got part of your equation. But that whole 5 pillars of wealth thing probably escaped me. And I'll say definitely escaped me. And if I were to relive my life all over again, I would have definitely learned the lessons that you would be able to teach us. So can you take what I just said and kind of expand upon that, please?
Absolutely, Peter. First of all, National Real Estate Investors Group, as well as the online education program, is rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau. And if you don't mind, I would like to cover the 5 pillars of wealth so people get an understanding of how to start from where you're at today and end up with what we call cash flow, in other words, mailbox money. That rent comes in every month, whether it's a hard time or bad time because people need a place to live. And it's also important to note, one of our goals is when you're investing in real estate, it has to be a win-win for everybody. Whether you're doing a seller finance or you're carrying back the note, it has to work for all parties involved. And that speaks to credibility. It speaks to altruism. And I'd like to cover very quickly the 5 pillars of wealth. Now, National Real Estate Investors Group, we do provide leading education and unparalleled support. As I mentioned, these education courses are on a similar platform as other online universities, allowing the students to reap the benefits of ongoing real estate investor training and wealth management education, all online right from home. Now, all these classes and coursework are updated annually or sooner, and this is key, or sooner when a new strategy is developed to stay current with the changes in all the legal, regulatory, and economic climate. And the first one is education, because education is at the center of our program. We teach strategies to create wealth and cash flow. Now, in order to do this, you need the knowledge to leverage the existing banking system, tax codes, and invest in real estate the correct way. That's number one. Number two is get out of debt. Amortized debt is killing the American public. Now, we teach you how to pay off credit cards, car loans, and this is huge, student loans in record time. We teach you how to pay off your mortgage in record time, and you can do all this without increasing your existing monthly budget that you have today. And I would like to repeat that. You can do all this without increasing your existing budget today. And this Get Out of Debt program, we call that, many of you may have heard of velocity banking. Next, we need minimize your taxes. Because if you don't understand the tax code, you are a victim of it. And you're going to learn how to create wealth without paying any taxes. And you're going to learn how to build a tax-free retirement plan regardless of your age, and learn how to use the tax system to your benefit. Now, how do we create wealth without paying any taxes? As real estate investors, if we have a property, and we teach you how to purchase properties 20, 30, 40 cents on the dollar. If you have a $100,000 home in value and you're able to purchase that at $40,000, that $60,000 balance is wealth. You don't pay any taxes on that. Why don't you pay any taxes on that? Because that is not on your income statement or your income sheet. That is on your balance sheet. So there's many ways that we can teach you how to find the deal of the decade, as I like to call it, and leverage everything to your benefit. And I would like to say that I, as a real estate investor, I leverage everything. My corporation basically owns everything. And there's a lot more about that in the tax and legal courses that you will be able to grasp and understand once you get into it. And the ironic thing is, when you start understanding the tax code and all these other benefits, you're going to understand why you are being, number one, taken advantage of, and you're also going to wonder, well, why didn't we learn this in school? I used to wonder that myself. However, I figured it out, because the banks, the government, and Wall Street don't want you to learn this. That way, they have control over you. One of the big systems that is always been in place is with the banking system and the purchasing of a home. Banks lend money on your gross income. That's how you qualify for a home. However, you have to pay all your bills out of your net income. That doesn't make sense. But we teach you how to get through all that and start taking advantage of, the leveraging that you are able to realize. Then next, you learn and we teach you how to create a business, because wealthy people build businesses and working people have jobs. And the tax code as it exists today is designed for small businesses, period. That's where the tax advantages are. I like to work by the 33-33-33 rule. If you are a employee for a company, you're going to pay 33% in tax, 33% in other areas of, it's too long for the radio show to get into, coming out of your income, And basically what you have is 33% left to live on. That's why people struggle so much. And lastly, ironically, is learn real estate investing. And wealthy people, we don't trade time for money. Wealthy people have the assets, like Peter was just mentioning, spin off cash flow. It just spins off every month. Number one is education. And what I just went through, Peter, real estate investing is the last step of the 5 pillars of wealth. Because what we want you to do is get all your systems in place, get your tax situation right, and then once you have this disposable discretionary income, then you are able to take that after all your expenses are covered and then start doing other things with it. One of those is investing in real estate.
Excellent. Perfect. We're going to do this. You're listening to Mike Harrington. He's with the National Real Estate Investment Group, and we're going to be right back after this little commercial break.
Thanks for listening to Building Fortunes Radio. If you sell a product or service, then you should check out PM Marketing's NetworkLeads.com. Just visit www.networkleads.com. For over 18 years, PM Marketing has helped distributors build their home-based businesses through lead generation, website development, automated email delivery systems, and sales training. If you're looking for a way to increase your skills and increase the number of people that see your product or opportunity, NetworkLeads.com can help. To learn more, visit www.networkleads.com. Ask about their lead management system, capture pages, personalized website, MLM training, humongous blogs, the humongous classified ad network, Building Fortunes Radio, or their webinar schedule. NetworkLeads.com can be your one-stop shop for everything you need. And now, back to our show.
And we are back. Peter Mingils here with Mike Harrington. We're with the National Real Estate Investment Group. They have everything that you need to be able to answer a lot of the questions to help you with your financial future and how you spend your money, how you make your money, things along that line. Stuff that I, quite honestly, my strengths, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, was in direct sales, building a business. My weaknesses were on managing that money correctly, and most of it had to do with not self-discipline, not anything else other than just lack of knowledge. I just didn't know where to get that information from people that I trusted. So the reality is that Mike could be that person for you. So, Mike, could you share with us 2 things? We're going to be back. So for those people listening in, they're never going to be able to handle all the great stuff Mike can share on this radio show in 30 minutes. So we're going to have regular segments. You'll be able to check out buildingfortunesradio.com, look for the National Real Estate Investment Group radio show, as well as search for Mike Harrington and the guests. But in the next few minutes that we have left, could you share with us a little bit more about what they'll learn by working with you, and then also why this economy, the changes in this economy, is going to be so important that people learn from people like yourself and your real estate investment group on how to handle the necessary changes to be able to win as opposed to be able to be penalized. So I'll kick that off in your general direction.
Okay, Peter. Thank you. First of all, as we all know, the tremendous, unfortunate pandemic that we are going through, it's very important to understand that there's going to be a lot of, number one, foreclosures, which is devastating. There is going to be a lot of job loss. People are going to be home. And how does a real estate investor fit into that picture? And if I go back to what I said earlier, there has to be some caring and basically a lot of caring and altruism in not only what's happening, but how we can help people out. Now, one thing is going to be the foreclosure rate. So when we go into a situation where people have been devastated, our goal is not to pick up another piece of property. Our goal in this instance would be to help somebody that is facing foreclosure and this is just one example, not have to go through that, and our goal would be to save their credit. So on a foreclosure situation, if a real estate investor can come in, an educated real estate investor, and work with that client through many, many different strategies, and again, we teach strategies, and this is practical education and not applied education, which you go to school for 4 years and then get a degree. And the way we do that is, again, many different areas, but if we can get the client out from underneath that foreclosure and save their credit, it does a couple things. Number one, there's a lot less stress, and number two, it enables the client to go on and do other things, maybe downsize or whatever they want to do. So it's so important to, again, understand that everybody in the process of real estate investing has to win. The client has to win. We have to be able to take that property and eventually do something with it, whether we keep it, whether we sell it. And really, it doesn't matter how we do it, but is the client made whole as best as they can? And especially during these times, when I talked about getting out of debt, the key is investing in yourself to learn how to do that, so when hard times come, you're not a victim of the system. And for those that don't understand, this whole system, and again, the banks, Wall Street, and many other things are not your friend. Now, we love banks. Why do we love banks? Because they are a teammate of ours, but we leverage them. They end up working for us, not us being tied to a bank. And I would like to say this, when I talked about the gross income, Peter, on the mortgages and everything else, here's a little rule of thumb that we use. So if you're a homeowner and you go out and purchase a home, and let's say that you have a 4% interest rate. That's what the banks call it, but it's not an interest rate. It's a mortgage rate, because over time, when that is amortized, the rule of thumb is if you have a 4% mortgage rate, you multiply that times 2, add a 0, and that is the true interest rate on that property over 30 years. So a 4% mortgage rate equates to 80% interest. And when people start understanding what the banks are doing, it's very disheartening. Now, it's very easy to get caught up in that because you don't know any different. You are doing what your parents did, your grandparents did, and it just seems normal. But that's why the United States is in such critical shape with the finances. So getting out of debt and everything that we do, the process is there. I like to say, Peter, make the client whole. And when people start realizing that extra money in their pocket every month, they really start seeing that there is a better way to live. And
Absolutely.
we love to help people. I get my satisfaction of seeing people get in this education. Then they call me up and they say, "Hey, Mike, I just did this, I just did that, and I don't have that obligation anymore." And that's a wonderful feeling. I do this because I like to help people. And, money always follows value every time. So we're not out here to make money. We're here to provide the value that in return we realize income. And
Yep, great stuff.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, Peter, to watch people start moving into a healthy financial situation, not one that is keeping them strapped and the whole living paycheck to paycheck, because that's an awful way to go.
Now, I know that before the whole coronavirus thing, say, for instance, before 2019 and the beginning part of 2020, people could have a certain strategy. But the world's a new place. I think all the rules are going to change. They're going to be modified. They're going to be moving around. Those people that don't keep up with the rules are probably going to be really hurt, and those people that take advantage of the new rules and learn the new rules are going to be the ones on the top of this, so that be able to survive and maybe even thrive. So that's even more reasons why people plug into the training that you have, because you guys are on top of this stuff every day. So if there's something that changes in the next couple of months, you're going to be able to educate people, and they'll have access to this information. So in the minute or so that we have left, how would people get in touch with the National Real Estate Investment Group?
Well, Peter, they can email me personally. That's Mike at NRGRP, stands for National Real Estate Investors Group.com. So it's Mike at NREIGRP.com. And my office number is 866-871-9170. That's 866-871-9170. And if they get in touch with me or shoot me an email, I can send them a 3-part webinar series on the educational platform that we use and have used for over 7 years now. And just in 1 minute, Peter, I'd like to wrap this up. As far as the educational program, I looked at many different things as far as being able to have an educational program that helps people. And the educational program that we use, is second to none. And I'd be happy if people want to reach out to me. I can send them a 3-part webinar series on the educational platform and give them a, comfort zone. And then my thing is, let's have a conversation. Give me a call. Let's talk about what you're doing and what you want to do, your goals, and then we can get you started working with us. And, everything has to start from here. And, it doesn't really matter what's happened in the past. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow isn't here scenario. What are people going to do today to change their situation? And
Excellent.
That's where I'm here to help.
Excellent. Okay, good. So give out the website one more time, or your email address one more time. Some people might have grabbed the pen.
Okay. My email address is Mike at NREIGRP.com. That stands for National Real Estate Investors Group. So that's Mike at NREIGRP.com. My phone number is 866-871-9170, and the website is www.nreigrp.com. That's www.nreigrp.com. And shoot me an email, and let's start a conversation. I love talking with people about how they want to do what they want to do and realize the goals that they have in their lifetime and what it's done for me. And by the way, to sum it up, I am an education holder myself. That's how I got where I am today. So this is real life education and training that will help you get where you want to be.
Excellent information. We're going to catch everybody next on Building Fortunes Radio. See you next time, everyone. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Building Fortunes Radio on buildingfortunesradio.com. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the designated Building Fortunes Radio segment with Peter Mingils. Be sure to check out the buildingfortunesradio.com website for our featured segments. It's been our privilege to have you listen in. At Building Fortunes Radio, we wish you the success you deserve and are willing to work for. So spread the word, tell a friend, join our newsletter, and go make a difference in your world.